Hey guys, Bubba here at the Bubbanews, all in one word, all in one news. By now you guys have heard Trump bombs Iran. My wife sent me a text at 8:27 p.m. Eastern tonight saying Trump just bombed Iran. So that's the title for tonight's video. And I'll let you even hear Fox News talk about it before we get to today's story, because this is going to get nuts. And this is going to get very prophetic as we go into the days to come. And we're going to tie it into some prophecy verses coming up too. But let's get right to it.
This is a Fox News alert. News from the President of the United States that there has been an attack inside Iran. Just moments ago, President Donald Trump putting out on Truth Social, we have completed our very successful attack on 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace. Again, this from President Donald Trump. A full payload of bombs was dropped on the primary site, Fordow. All planes are safely on their way home. Congratulations to our great American warriors. There is not another military in the world that could have done this. Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Again, that's just seconds ago from President Donald Trump on Truth Social, suggesting that those B-2 bombers that perhaps were on the way may have been behind this. We'll get more details on these 3 sites that the president said has been attacked inside Iran.
So, I mean, as you guys see, this is actually going down. This is crazy town. But I want to start bringing up a little bit of today and even how we got here. I mean, even last night, it was announced, this was about, oh gosh, this came out around 1:15 this morning, because I saw this, that President Trump is returning to the White House today. And he did at 6 p.m. Eastern time. This is the first time that Trump spends a Saturday evening at the White House since being sworn in on January 20th, 2025. And we started looking at the NOTAMs going into effect there with Hawaii, and I found it very ironic how it looks like the B-2 looking shape there in red. But that's related to the Pacific Missile Range Facility, Barking Sands, but the PMRF. But, you know, it's a very interesting coincidence, you know what I mean? But yeah, this is what we started seeing last night, and I threw this up. Oh, goodness, I didn't go to bed till, way too late. But, you know, there was 2 groups of 4 tankers that were all lined up, and they were refueling the B-2 bombers as they took off from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, because they needed to be refueled there over Oklahoma because they were heavy. So they were bringing in all kinds of stuff, and we're going to get to that. But there's a lot going on today that is going to fall back in the wayside of news that I think is very important with the days to come. You know what? Maybe today. I don't know about you guys, but I am so ready. The day's not over yet, and we are looking for Jesus Christ to return so very soon. But everything coming out today was talking about the B-2 bombers, and they were either going to fly to Anderson Air Force Base in Guam or the joint U.S.-British military installation on Diego Garcia. So this could have been the head fake, because I saw this guy on Twitter post this, so I shared it on Telegram. Here's what he said. B-2s took off from Missouri at midnight with refueling planes with them. The same pattern as when they flew all the way to Afghanistan to bomb years ago, with a 16-hour flying time per Google that puts them over the Iran underground nuclear sites at 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight. And that's about when they did it, because the reports came out from Trump on Truth Social there at 7:45 p.m. Eastern, right around there. So this guy was calling for it to happen around 7 p.m. So, you know, and he said, don't believe the head fake of all the information that is going to Guam or Diego Garcia. But I have a feeling the United States might have to go back. But this is a big concern too, because they're talking about American military bases in the Middle East are going to be hit next because the United States hit Iran. There's talk that the Houthis are going to start attacking. The Popular Mobilization Forces, the PMF there in Iraq, those are the Iranian proxy group, are going to start attacking. And Iran will have the ability to hit American allies using all their short-range ballistic missiles. It's estimated that Iran has thousands of these short-range ballistic missiles, which they haven't used yet at all in this war so far with Israel. So the U.S. Al-Assad base in western Iraq, it's only 175 miles from the Iranian border. And the U.S. Erbil base in eastern Iraq, it's only 75 miles from Iran. So they're both in range of this missile, the Fatah 313. This is one that Iran has an overabundance of. And everyone's watching the USS Nimitz as it's coming into the arena there in the Middle East for a false flag coming up. I mean, we've got some interesting days coming up. But here's the concern. Because this missile can hit all these bases from Iraq down through Kuwait, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, no problem. And this will be a useful map, I believe, in the days to come. But this, I found interest in this because the big concern for our men and women in uniform stationed in the Middle East is the reprisal Iranian attack on the U.S. interest. And I got this from aawsat.com, an Arabian news site, but I had to do the translate. But as you can see here, they were talking about these numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the left there. And you can see the circle surrounding Iran at the bottom. And I'm going to scroll up here, but those left 4 on the top, not the yellow ones, but all of those are within range of all the U.S. bases in the Middle East. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Iran has thousands of those missiles. And these bottom yellow and red, of course, that can hit all of Israel, into Turkey. They're not going to, of course, but, all the U.S. bases stationed in Iraq, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Syria, and Jordan are under the gun. So, this kept coming out that they were moving the B-2 bombers to Guam. And they might be on their way back. Or they might just be returning back to Whiteman Air Force Base. I'm not sure, but, it was a total head fake. Because there could be a weekend of dropping these earth-penetrating tactical nukes on Iran. But Trump doesn't want to do that yet. He doesn't want to do that yet. Iran threatens to damage the Israeli nuclear reactor in Dimona in southern Israel. But for that, there's also the reactor in Bushehr, a kind of mutual balance of terror, and the time is coming. The question is when. But the Houthis are saying they're going to attack. They're going to launch a military intervention against Iran if the U.S. does this, and they are. So the Houthis say that they're going to resume attacking American ships in the Red Sea. But, Iran is threatening to target Dimona nuclear reactor there in southern Israel. It's not going to go over well because while the Iranian missiles can reach it, they lack the pinpoint precision needed to hit a specific section of this complex because the thing is huge. It's one of the most heavily protected sites in all of Israel, the Dimona nuclear reactor, because the multiple layers of missile defenses, it's a top priority for interception. At least some, if not all of the missiles fired at the site will be shot down. Iran's missiles are not designed for deep penetration in underground sites like the U.S. is using. Dimona was designed in the Cold War era. So with the threat of the Soviet missiles in mind. So it's a very hardened target. And Iran lacks the airstrike capabilities to actually get to it. But there's a lot of firepower ready to go in the Middle East. Check this out. I reported this earlier. There are at least now 86 United States refueling tankers in the European, in the EUCOM, in the CENTCOM, the Middle East theaters of operation. Now check this out. What happened tonight is not done with Iran. A very rough count of fighter jets between the Israeli Air Force and the United States Air Force and Navy currently. There's over 59 F-15 fighters, over 229 F-16s, 12 F-22s, over 82 F-35s, over 60 F-A-18s. That's 342 plus fighter jets. And the ships that are in the CENTCOM, excluding the ships that are still en route, like the Gerald Ford, you've got 2 aircraft carriers, you've got 13 destroyers, 1 cruiser, at least 1 submarine that we know of, littoral combat ships, 3, patrol cutters, 6, mine warfare ships, 4, amphibious expeditionary, 1, logistics is 3, replenishment oilers 2, special support vessels is 1, but on all those vessels, check this out, the VLS cells. VLS cells are the vertical launch system cells. These are compartments on the United States naval vessels designed to hold and launch missiles. That total is 1,346 missiles. So this allows for quick and flexible missile deployments, enhancing a ship's capabilities. Yeah, that goes without saying. And there was a report of one-way drones incoming, and the United States was helping, but I don't think we really were, because I saw where the Israel was. They were taking down these drones that were coming in, and the IRGC said that a 19th wave of Operation True Promise 3 was inbound to Israel, and it looks like it was just a large wave of attack drones. Jordan even jumped in to help. But this came out earlier, too. Between Morristown, the Joint Base Andrews, and the South Lawn of the White House, Trump took 0 questions from reporters all 3 times when he arrived to the White House tonight for the National Security meeting at 6 p.m. And it's very unusual for Trump to bypass talking to the press gathering on his trips. He frequently stops. He stops, and he talks, and he takes questions. Check this out. Trump posted this video while he was on Air Force One.
With this idea about the 2 weeks, there's been a lot of discussion about it. How do you read it?
I think that Donald Trump has never wavered from the ultimate objective, which is that the Iranian nuclear program has to end. It has to be dismantled. It has to be destroyed. The only question has been whether it's done militarily or whether it's done voluntarily. He gave them a 60-day deadline. They let the deadline pass, and so Israel began bombing on day 61. And now he is basically holding out. This is your last chance. The time for negotiation is over. There's not going to be any kind of deal. This is a question of whether Iran cries Amu, which is Persian for uncle, and allows U.S. to come in and blow up Fordow from inside, or we do it from without, from the skies above with B-2 bombers. But I think there is 0 chance that the Fordow nuclear facility survives this encounter with Iran.
Well, I'll have to pay attention, but I found it interesting that he did this as like a fake, like a head fake again. These one-way drones were on the way into Israel. I mean, Israeli Apache helicopters and F-16 fighter jets were shooting them down, and then Jordan was helping out as well. But this came out too, and now they're showing a total of 98 tanker aircraft. Not 86, 98 now are confirmed to be operational, with around 70 positioned to support the strike on Iran. They haven't even used half of the... They haven't even... That's what I'm saying. All these tankers are in theater and they're ready to go. That one in Spain is nutty, Professor. I've seen the videos and pictures coming out from the Meron Air Base there, with them all stacked up. And I've been seeing the flights coming out of Germany there, Ramstein. So that was wild. But yeah, the Jordanian Air Force scrambled fighter jets earlier to do it too. But, this was the earlier, as of 5 p.m. Eastern, the attacks there on Iran. And Israel continues to take them out. And they say that Israel's launched over 1,000 sorties with fighter jets dropping hundreds of munitions on Iranian ballistic missile and storage sites in the past 8 days. So that's why a lot of these attacks coming in from Iran right now, they're less and less and less ballistic missiles. For example, Iran did not launch any ballistic missile attacks on Israel over the past 24 hours on Saturday, June 21st. As of 7:39 p.m. Eastern tonight, 2:39 a.m. in Israel, it's been 24 hours since Iran launched the last missiles towards Israel. I mean, since then, there's been a bunch of UAV alerts last night and this morning, today. But meanwhile, Israel continues to strike targets in Iran. But I said this at, 7:45 Eastern. I said it feels eerily quiet. Maybe the attacks on Israel are taking the night off. It feels like another pause in the birth pains and contractions. I posted that at 7:45 p.m. Then at 7:51 p.m. this comes out. Trump, we have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. Our planes are now outside of airspace. But the thing that caught my eye was now is the time for peace. The U.S. just made history and bombed the Iranian nuclear sites. And it was indeed a head fake saying the 2 weeks thing. Again, I mean, that guy that, he posted that, and sure enough, he was right, because it was the total head fake that hit around 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. And according to an Israeli senior official that spoke with Barak Ravid of Axios, the U.S. informed Israel in advance of the attack on Iran, and it was coordinated between Israel and Iran. So the U.S. defense official told Reuters that B-2 long-range strategic bombers are used against Iran's nuclear sites. And a huge wave of airstrikes is being continued to be carried out throughout Iran. I have a feeling Israel's still keeping going. But, when Trump said now is the time for peace and thank you for your interest in this issue, this is only going to infuriate the Iranian regime even more. Trump is trying to warn the Iranians that this was just the beginning. There's a reason why all the military hardware has been moved into place. But the weirdest thing is there's been radio silence from the Iranian state media so far. Iranian media is really quiet right now. It's like Iran has been blocking all transmission of videos currently. And I've seen some videos come out from End Time Headlines or Now the End Begins or something, and I can't verify that was actually Fordow, but it was a huge explosion. It could be in the past, but I didn't share it yet. But, when Reuters is confirming that the B-2s took part in the U.S. attack on Iran's nuclear facilities. But I'm going to point this out, too, because in recent days... Where are we? Yeah, well, I'll leave this up and let you guys read this, but in recent days, there's been the fear of Iranian proxies joining the fight. And that has grown in the minds of the IDF commanders. They fear that a quote-unquote saturation event is a real possibility. A massive timed attack with drones and missiles hitting Israel at the exact same time. They're going to time it out with themselves, all the proxies of Iran, and totally overwhelm Israel's air defenses. We're talking drones, cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, and more that are going to be coming from Hezbollah, the Houthis, whatever rockets Hamas and the Palestinian Islamic Jihad have left, the PMF forces, the Popular Mobilization Forces in Iraq, and Iran. This is one of the reasons why there's been major movement of air defense systems over the past couple days there in Israel. They're restocking Israel with air defense missiles. But Israel will eventually run out. Hezbollah has an estimated 25,000 rockets and missiles left, not including their own drone swarms that they've been building during this ceasefire. They're ready. Iran is over, and Iran over the past few months has been transferring a lot of ballistic missiles to Iraq and Syria as well to join in this combined mega attack. And that's why I shared this the other night. I talked about, I believe that the tents of Edom are going to get involved. The Ishmaelites, the Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, Ammon, Amalek, Philistia, the inhabitants of Tyre. Assyria is also joined with them. They have helped with the children of Lot. They are going to come together. They're going to say, let us take for ourselves the pasture of God. The promised land is a possession. But the day is coming when Israel is going to get hit very hard. And that's why this picture is up here. The coming attack on Israel's northern 2/3 will be insane. From Jerusalem to Tel Aviv to Haifa to the Galilee. This will eventually open up the door to the unsuccessful siege of Judah and Jerusalem. Basically, what's coming when Israel's air defenses are overtaken and the bombs are flying, this is going to open up the doors to the unsuccessful siege of Judah and Jerusalem. A ground invasion inside Israel like October 7th, but it's going to be 2.0 on steroids. Even Zechariah 12, verse 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all talk about Judah and Jerusalem, 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 Jerusalem. All of it is coming. The unsuccessful siege is coming. And Israel's going to take care of their neighboring enemies on their left hand and on their right. Zechariah 12, verses 4 and 6. But before that, the glory of Jacob is going to fade here, of Isaiah 17:4. This is all coming together, which will lead to part of the Damascus prophecy of Isaiah 17:1. Israel takes care of them with Damascus, Isaiah 17:3, Isaiah 17:9. But then by morning, once the thing kicks off with Damascus, it's over by Isaiah 17:14. And for an extra camera angle on the Damascus prophecy, check out Jeremiah 49, verses 23 through 27. But I did put this up. I said, Dear Israel and the United States, don't get too big for your britches, because this is going to get much, much worse. And the mushroom cloud is coming right off of Fordow nuclear enrichment plant. The New York Times reported that approximately 30 tons of explosives were used in the strike on the Fordow nuclear facility. 30 tons? What is that? That's 60,000 pounds. That's a little bit over 4 GBU 57s. So I don't know what all they used. And I put this up on Telegram. I said, this wasn't enough in my humble opinion. I have a feeling that the U.S. will need to go back. But if the U.S. was successful in taking out Fordow, this still does not yet fulfill the Jeremiah 49 verses 34 to 39 prophecy with Elam. Because when God fulfills a prophecy, every single aspect will be fulfilled. This prophecy has only just begun. But that's the wild thing. This prophecy has basically just begun. This should be setting off alarm bells in everybody's head by now. Seriously. This is mega prophecy coming to pass. And Trump's going to give a press announcement at 10 p.m., and I'm going to try to upload this here at 10 p.m., which would be 5 a.m. Israel time about the airstrike. And in his announcement, Trump added, this is a historic moment for the United States of America, Israel, and the world. Iran must now agree to end this war. Thank you. And Trump put it out, he retweeted this. And OSINT613 is one of the guys I follow on Twitter. A very strong follow if you guys are on Twitter X, seriously. But, considering there's some major doubt about how exactly effective the bunker busters were against Fordow, it will take some time to know for sure. I mean, they no doubt caused significant damage, though. There's no doubt about that. But now the Strait of Hormuz is going to be the focus. Because if the Mullah regime intends to retaliate, then this would be one of the contested areas. And that is coming up. Because everything going on, let's scroll in here at the bottom. Yeah, see where that little finger shoots up right there? Qatar, Bahrain. Just straight north of that, where it goes through the word Arabian, just north of that is the Bushehr nuclear power plant. And the Strait of Hormuz is 21 nautical miles across. The Strait of Bab el-Mandeb there, what Yemen controls or tries to control into the Red Sea, it's even narrower at 11 nautical miles. So, all right, well, let's get this uploaded. But like you guys said, you guys saw here from Mrs. Bubba at 8:27 p.m., Trump just bombed Iran. So that's what we're going with the title, Trump bombs Iran. So I'm going to keep this short tonight, guys. This is getting nutty, Professor. But thank you so much for watching. And for the new subscribers, thank you so much for joining. You guys have been such a blessing. For those of you who are moderating, thank you so much. For all of you in chat, you guys are awesome. I just love the fellowship. Even though we get some squirrely ones here and there, overall, people just come in and they just want to be lifted up. Or, you know what I mean? We just want to share the same excitement because we know that the return of Jesus Christ is right at the door. Guys, Maranatha, lift up your heads. Our redemption is coming soon. Trump bombs Iran. Who knows what tomorrow's going to bring, but I'll see you here, there, or in the air. We're flying soon. Maranatha.